Hey everyone. Before we dive into today's story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. It really helps YouTube recommend more stories like this one to you. Alright, let's jump right in.
The delivery driver kept staring at me through the peephole. Not knocking, not leaving, just standing there with that stupid red food bag. It had been 5 full minutes. I didn't know what was in the bag. I didn't even order anything. The worst part? The app said I did. Placed at 9:13 p.m. pickup, Sakimoto, sushi drop-off, my address, but I'd been on the couch for hours, watching reruns, wrapped in a hoodie, phone untouched on the coffee table. And yet, somehow, an order went through under my account, with my name, my number, and my apartment. At first, I thought maybe it was a glitch, or someone spoofing the app. That happens, right? But the delivery guy wouldn't leave. I peeked through the blinds. He was standing right outside the main door of the building, looking up at my window. Like he knew which unit was mine. Like he was waiting for something. Then my phone buzzed. Your driver is arriving now. Be ready for handoff, ETA, 0 minutes. Handoff. I clicked into the app. The order was real. Charged to my card, full receipt, tip and all. But the special instructions section is what made my throat go dry. Leave at the door. I'm already inside. Inside? Inside where? My building? My unit? What did that even mean? I walked through the apartment, trying to breathe. Windows shut. Door locked. Bathroom empty. Closets clear. I hadn't heard anything all night. I live alone. I would have known if someone came in, wouldn't I? My heart was doing that tight fluttery thing, like I was being hunted. I grabbed my keys and stepped back, ready to open the door and just yell at the guy to go away. But then he moved. He raised the bag and held it up to the peephole, like he was offering it to someone, and smiled. That was the first time I saw his teeth. Too white. Too clean. Like they didn't belong in his mouth. He didn't say anything, just mouthed something. I couldn't make it out. It looked like open, maybe. Or home. Then he knocked, once. Sharp and too loud. Like a threat, I backed away. A second later, my phone buzzed again. Order delivered. Enjoy your meal, smiley face. I didn't move until I heard the stairwell door creak and his footsteps fade down. Even then, I waited another 5 minutes before cracking the door open. The hallway was empty. The food bag was on the floor, upright. Sealed, untouched. I picked it up and brought it inside with 2 fingers like it was covered in something toxic. The smell hit me immediately. Not fish. Not soy sauce or ginger or even rice. It smelled like copper. Like an old penny left in a puddle. Faint, metallic, but definitely not food. I put the bag in the sink. Backed away. Stared at it like it might move. I should have thrown it out. I meant to. But then I saw the receipt stapled to the top. Under my name. Under the delivery info. Under everything. Someone had scrawled a message in thick black ink. Thanks for letting me back in. I didn't sleep that night. I triple-checked the locks, jammed a chair under the knob, even pushed my dresser against the door. The whole time, my head was screaming the same question over and over. Is he in here already? I didn't open the bag. I couldn't. It sat in my sink like a ticking bomb. Sweating through the paper. At 4 a.m., I finally texted my best friend Kayla. Even though I knew she was probably dead asleep. Hey, something really weird happened. Can you come over? She didn't answer. But the typing bubble popped up for a second, then disappeared. Then nothing. I sat there with the phone in my lap, just staring. A minute later, I heard a noise. Soft. From the kitchen, like a whisper. Not even a word. Just breath. I turned the corner and froze. The food bag was open. I hadn't touched it. I swear on everything, I hadn't even gone near it. But now it was unzipped and something inside was moving. Slow, like the shifting of fabric or plastic, I ran to it. Tore it open with a towel. Inside was a takeout container, the kind you'd get miso soup in. And taped to the lid was another message. It's too late to lock the door now. I dropped it. Backed away. My head was spinning. Was this some prank? Some psycho messing with me? But how would they get into the app? My account? My card? I checked all my cameras. Nothing. My doorbell cam hadn't even picked up the guy standing there. Like, he didn't exist on camera. Like he knew where the blind spots were. And then I noticed something. On the kitchen counter I hadn't put there a single receipt. From Sakimoto Sushi. Same order as before. Same timestamp. Only this one had no address, just one word, printed where the drop-off should have been. Home. Part 2. I didn't even realize I'd backed into the wall until I felt the outlet dig into my spine. The receipt on the counter looked harmless from a distance, but the longer I stared, the more wrong it felt, like it was watching me. Home. The word pulsed in my head. I don't know how long I stood there before I grabbed my keys and decided to get the hell out. I didn't care if it was 4 a.m. I didn't care if I looked insane. I just needed out. But when I touched the deadbolt, something stopped me. A sound. Right behind the door. Light. Steady breathing, not shuffling. Not footsteps. Someone was standing there on the other side. Like they were leaning forward, face pressed to the wood, listening to me decide whether to open it. I froze. The breathing stopped the second I did. I backed up slowly, forcing myself not to make noise, not to even drag my feet. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands and dialed 911. No signal. Full bars a minute ago, now nothing. Just a red SOS icon mocking me. My apartment has never lost service. Not once. Not in storms, not in outages, never. That's when I realized something else. My Wi-Fi wasn't just disconnected. The network name had changed. The name was always Kayla is annoying. A joke from when she set it up for me. Now it said, "You locked the window but not the deal." Or my stomach bottomed out. The living room window. I sprinted to it, fingers slipping on the latch as I checked. Locked. Curtains closed. Nothing outside but the quiet, empty parking lot. I backed away slowly. That's when my phone buzzed. A notification from the delivery app. Your driver is arriving now. Drop-off location. My address. What? Another order? But it wasn't placed from my account this time. It didn't even show an order number. Just a countdown that immediately hit 0. Minutes. Then the hallway outside my apartment creaked. Not footsteps. A dragging sound. Long, slow, like someone was pulling a heavy bag along the carpet. The sound reached my door and stopped. Silence. Then knocked. Once. Just once. I didn't breathe. A second knock. Softer this time, as if whoever was out there wanted me to come closer. I tiptoed back to the peephole, heart punching my ribs, breath held. I looked. No one. The hallway was empty, but the food bag was back, the red one. The same one, sitting perfectly centered on my doormat, like it had never been touched. I stepped back. Every instinct in my body screamed at me not to touch it. Don't go near it. Don't even acknowledge it. But then the phone buzzed again. A live chat message within the delivery app. From the driver. You forgot this. I typed with numb fingers. Who are you? 3 dots appeared immediately. Typing. Then disappeared. Then typing again. Then gone. Finally, I used to live there. I didn't even realize I was whispering until the words left my mouth. What do you want? The reply came instantly. To come home. Then another, let me in. I turned off my phone. Threw it onto the couch. Then the doorknob rattled. Soft. Testing. like fingertips brushing metal. Then harder. Then violently shaking. I jumped back as the hinges groaned. The dresser I'd pushed up against the door shuddered like it was about to slide across the hardwood. I grabbed the nearest thing, a lamp, and held it like a bat, even though I knew it wouldn't do anything. My voice cracked as I shouted, "Go away! I'm calling the police!" The rattling stopped instantly. Silence. Then a whisper through the door. So close I could hear the breath in it. "You already did." I dropped the lamp. Footsteps faded down the hallway. Slow, uneven. Not rushing. Not running. Just leaving. I didn't dare move until minutes passed. Then I crept to the peephole again. Nobody, but something was there. Slip of paper taped to my door with clear packing tape. Hands shaking. I peeled it off and unfolded it. It wasn't a message. It was a printed screenshot of the delivery app. My delivery app. Only this one showed something I'd never seen. A live driver view camera feed from inside my apartment. My couch. My kitchen. My hallway, viewed from above. Like the angle of a ceiling camera. Except, I didn't have cameras, and the timestamp on the screenshot was from 10 minutes earlier, while I was right here, in the room. Thinking I was alone, I dropped the paper like it was burning me. Then I heard it. Soft tap. From the kitchen. I turned slowly. The cabinet above the fridge was open. I never used that cabinet. I can't even reach it without a chair. But the door hung open, just a crack, swaying like it had been moved recently. The air felt wrong. Heavy. Hot, like someone had been breathing in there. Against every instinct I had. I grabbed a broom and nudged the cabinet door open wider. There was nothing inside. Nothing except a phone. Not mine. Not any model I recognized. It was propped against the back wall of the cabinet. The screen cracked, battery at 2%. The moment I touched it, the screen lit up. A video file was open. I tapped play. The video showed my apartment. My kitchen. From earlier tonight. The angle moved shakily, like someone was crawling. Crawling out of the cabinet. Filming. I watched in frozen horror as the figure lowered themselves silently onto my counter, then dropped softly onto my kitchen floor. They walked around my apartment, touched my couch, stood over me as I slept, leaned inches from my face. At one point, they crouched beside me, tilted their head, and whispered something I couldn't make out. Then the video ended. The first thing that felt off was the porch light. It wasn't on. That might not sound like much, but if you've done delivery work at night, you know that's not normal. People who order groceries late usually want them immediately. They're hungry, impatient, anxious. They want their things now, and they leave the light on. But this house sat in complete darkness. No porch light, no windows lit up. Just shadows and that weird orange spill from the nearest street lamp across the cracked pavement. Still, the GPS said I was at the right address, 9421 Elkwood Lane. The app even popped up with a ping. You've arrived. Leave items at the door. So I shrugged it off. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they passed out waiting. I grabbed the first of 3 paper bags from my trunk, heavy with frozen dinners. Bananas, 2 packs of generic soda, and a frozen pie, and started up the walkway. No doorbell. Just one of those old iron knockers shaped like a lion's head. I gently knocked once. Nothing. Whatever. I crouched and carefully lined up the bags on the doormat, making sure not to block the screen door. Took a photo with the app. Hit delivered, and turned to go, and that's when I heard it. The sound of a door opening behind me, but it wasn't the front door. I just knocked on. It was somewhere to my right. Another door. A side entrance maybe. Hard to tell in the dark. I turned, but I couldn't see anyone. Just the shadow of a tree and part of the backyard. I squinted. A figure stood half concealed behind the corner of the house. No light on them, just the moon. They didn't say anything, didn't step forward. I don't even think they were looking at me. They were facing the door where I'd left the bags, like they'd been waiting. I lifted a hand and waved. "Hey, your order's on the mat." "It's all there." No response. Just stood there. Still weird. But honestly, people can be awkward. I've had entire silent handoffs before. Some people don't want interaction. I wasn't gonna make it a thing. I turned back to my car. The street was dead quiet. No wind, no passing cars. Just that heavy, sleepy stillness of a late shift winding down. I was halfway to the driver's side when my phone buzzed again. Order could not be confirmed. Photo does not match address. Wait, what? I pulled it out and stared. The app had marked the delivery as failed. It showed the photo I'd taken, clear as day. But it was flagged as incorrect drop-off location. Then, another notification appeared. You have 10 minutes to correct delivery. Note from customer, that's not my house. I stopped cold. I looked back at the home. Dark, silent, bag still sitting there. That figure by the side of the house, gone. I opened the app again. Rechecked the address. 9421 Elkwood Lane, exactly where I was, but the map was off by 1 dot. Zoomed in, it showed 9423, just a few feet away. A nearly identical house across a patch of lawn. Same layout, just mirrored. That's where the little pin was blinking. Shit. Okay. My bad. I sighed and jogged back to the porch, feeling stupid, telling myself it was nothing. I bent to grab the bags and paused. They were gone. All 3. Gone. No sound. No footsteps. Not even a creak of the screen door. Just gone. I straightened up fast, heart thudding a little harder now. "Hello," I called toward the house. "Did someone grab these already?" Nothing. I knocked on the door this time, harder. No answer. No lights. I turned and checked the side of the house again. No one there. No gate. No movement. Just the sound of a single cicada somewhere in the trees. I took a deep breath and jogged across the lawn to the other house. 9423. The correct one, apparently. This porch was even darker, but there was a doorbell camera above the frame and a doormat that said, "Nitrogen monoxide soliciting or small talk." I rang. Footsteps came quickly this time. A woman opened the door in a loose hoodie, phone in one hand, earbuds hanging. "Did you already drop it off?" she asked immediately. "It says you were here 10 minutes ago." I told her what happened. About the confusion, the house next door, the groceries disappearing. She frowned hard. "That house is empty." I blinked. "What? No one's lived there in, 3 years. Maybe more." She leaned out a little, looking past me at the porch across the grass. "It's condemned or something. People say squatters used to break in, but yeah, it's not occupied." I looked back at the house I just walked up to. It did look more run down now that I was really looking. The window to the left of the door was completely blacked out. Not just dark blacked out, like someone had painted it. The yard was patchy. The mailbox was crooked. And the porch? Empty. No bags. No containers. Nothing. The woman followed my gaze and pulled her hoodie tighter. "Creepy," she muttered. "I've seen delivery guys get the address wrong before, but no one's ever answered the door." My mouth was dry. "Nobody answered," I said slowly. "They were just standing there." She went quiet. After a moment, she said, "Well, thanks anyway. I'll report it to support. You probably won't get penalized." She closed the door gently, but her eyes didn't leave the other house until it clicked shut. I sat in my car with the engine off, just staring at 9421. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe someone was living there. Someone not on the lease. Someone off-grid. That happens, right? I zoomed out on the map again. There it was. Clear as anything. 9421 Elkwood Lane, unoccupied property, service flagged. Wait, what? I clicked on it. A warning popped up. This address is not available for deliveries due to previous safety concerns. If you believe this flag is an error, please contact support. My stomach twisted. This should have never been on my route. I scrolled up to my delivery history. The job had come from a batch ad, a weird bulk order function that autofills when you're doing late night shifts, and running low on requests. I'd never seen that house before, except something tickled the back of my memory. Had I? That porch. That layout. I pulled up my old delivery logs from 2 months ago, scanning address after address. And then I saw it. Same house. Different customer. That night, I'd left 2 bags of groceries on that porch and never heard a thing. No call, no complaint. Just a 5-star rating and a $10 tip. I'd even marked it as friendly, waved from the window. But the window had been blacked out this whole time, hadn't it? Part 2. Previously, while delivering groceries late at night, the narrator mistakenly drops the bags at an eerily dark, supposedly unoccupied house. A silent figure appeared. The bags vanished. The house was flagged in the app as unsafe, but something about it feels disturbingly familiar. I didn't sleep when I got home. I just sat at the edge of my bed with the lights on, staring at the walls. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that porch, that blacked out window, that figure near the side of the house just standing there, watching. And the worst part? The app said I'd been there before. I had no memory of it. None. And I never forget a weird house. Especially not one that sets off every alarm in my gut. But that address, 9421 Elkwood Lane, was logged on my delivery history. Not once, 3 times. Always late at night. Always the last stop of the route. Same batch order. Same items. No reported issues. Only one rating stood out. One from 2 weeks ago. No review. Just a single line typed into the customer notes field. Come back. You left the wrong thing. I don't know what made me do it, but the next afternoon, when the sun was high and the world felt normal again, I drove back to Elkwood Lane. The difference in daylight was weird. The house still looked off, but less threatening. Just a rundown place with peeling paint, a leaning mailbox, and an overgrown lawn that hadn't seen a mower in months. But up close, the porch told a different story. It was clean. Too clean. No dust. No cobwebs. No dried leaves. Nothing like the other houses on the street. Even the old screen door, which looked rusted from a distance, swung open smoothly and didn't squeak. It felt used. I stepped up and crouched, pretending to tie my shoe, just so I could glance around unnoticed. That's when I saw it. A small, faded sticker near the bottom corner of the doorframe. Almost hidden. White background. Black text. Old delivery driver code. S13LEFT. I froze. That sticker was used years ago when gig companies were still figuring out delivery tracking. It meant Zone S13, left at door. I hadn't seen one in forever, but the crazy part? That code was my old zone. One I worked in back in 2019. Before the rezone. Before the accident. That's when it hit me. This wasn't the first time I'd been here. I sat in my car, digging through old emails, order logs, even social media posts. It took over an hour to find what I was looking for. A buried photo in my archived Instagram stories. Taken during my first month on the job. A selfie with a dumb caption. Delivery grind don't stop. But in the background, blurred and barely in frame, was that porch. Same steps. Same door. Same stupid lion head knocker. I delivered here years ago, more than once. And each time, I'd forgotten about it until the app reminded me. Like it was wiped clean from my head the second I drove away. What the hell was this place? I waited until it was nearly dark before I got out of the car again. Don't ask me why. Something about the shadows made it feel truer. Like I needed to see the house how it really was. The porch was darker now. The blacked-out window caught no reflection, just sucked in light. I walked around the side, the same place I'd seen the figure last night, and found a narrow path between the houses, overgrown, walled in with thorny bushes. There was a side door here. No porch, just concrete dot, and in front of it, something small, a plastic bag. I always thought 4.8 stars meant safe, not perfect, but close, reliable, friendly, the kind of delivery driver you didn't have to think twice about opening the door for. But the guy who dropped off my food last Tuesday, the one with the 4.8 rating and over 1,200 reviews, he's not who I rated dot, and I don't think he was ever a driver at all dot. It was a regular night, raining. Around 9:30, I didn't feel like cooking, so I ordered Thai from my usual spot, pad siu, no peanuts, extra chili oil. I placed the order through the app and watched it like I always do. Driver assigned, Eric M. 4.8 stars, 1,281 deliveries. Gold badge for fastest drop-off. Profile pic. Guy in his 30s, glasses, soft beard, friendly smile. The kind of face that doesn't set off alarms. Estimated delivery, 18 minutes. But right away, something felt off. The car icon on the app never moved. Just sat at the same intersection, 5 blocks away for the entire route. I figured maybe he was parked, waiting on the order. Happens all the time. But then the time ticked down to 2 minutes, then 1. And the icon still hadn't moved. Then the message popped up. Your driver is approaching. Right, sure. I stood by the door, waiting for a knock, when something new happened, something I'd never seen before. A pop-up camera feed appeared. Live driver video. Trial feature. See who's delivering your order in real time. I clicked it. It opened a live stream, not from a dash cam, from the driver's front-facing camera, and I instantly wished I hadn't looked, because it wasn't Eric. The guy in the feed looked older, 50s maybe. Skin too pale, eyes too wide. No glasses, no beard, balding, and he wasn't driving. He was standing still, holding the phone at chest level, staring blankly into the lens. The background behind him was black, like he was somewhere without light. Not even dashboard lights. Just nothing. But the freakiest part? He was already at my door. I turned just in time to hear the knock. 3 soft taps. Even. Methodical. Not rushed. Not casual. I looked through the peephole. The guy on the screen was now standing on my porch. Same clothes. Same pale skin. No food bag. Just his phone in one hand, pointed straight at my door, and the other hand hanging still at his side. Backed away. Another knock. My phone buzzed. Order delivered. Thanks for tipping. The live video vanished, replaced by the usual screen. Thanks for your order. But no food was outside. No one was walking away. No car pulling off. Just an empty porch and rain pooling at the bottom of the steps. I opened the app again. Heart pounding. Eric M 4.8 stars. I checked the reviews, trying to find anything weird. They were all glowing. But then I noticed something strange. Every review was short, vague. Just one sentence repeated again and again. Always on time. Fast. Polite. Never had an issue. Always on time. Never had an issue. Always on time. Over and over. Even the username started blending together, random letters and numbers. Bots? Then I tapped on See More Photos. A grid of customer uploaded pics opened. Most of them were blank. Just dark, blurry shots of nothing. Except for one. Clicked on it and immediately felt cold. It was a close-up selfie, the same pale guy. Dead center. Staring directly at the lens, behind him, barely visible in the blurry background, was a window. My window. I didn't sleep that night. I triple-checked the locks, shut the curtains, pushed my dresser in front of the door like it would actually do anything. I didn't even touch the app again for 2 days, but on Friday night, it happened again. Different restaurant this time. I didn't even place the order, but I got a notification at 9:18 p.m. Eric M. is on the way with your delivery. At 8:14 minutes, I stared at the screen like it had punched me. I didn't order anything. Not on this app. Not on any. I clicked into the tracking page. Same icon. Same stuck location. And then live video feed automatically opened. This time he was closer. I recognized the background. He was in my backyard, standing completely still again. Phone held at chest level, lips slightly parted like he was about to speak. But didn't. The stream cut out. Called the app's customer support. Took 20 minutes to reach a human. I gave them everything. Timestamps, username, driver ID, all of it. The rep was quiet for a beat. Then said, "Sir, there is no current delivery assigned to your account." "Yes, there is." I snapped. "His name is Eric M. He's got. We removed that profile last year." I blinked. "What?" "He was flagged for suspicious behavior and multiple account violations," she said carefully. "That profile was deactivated." "Are you saying you're seeing it again?" I couldn't even respond. She continued, slower this time. "You're not the first person to report this, but we can't confirm how his profile is reappearing. There's no activity on our end. Nothing server side. It's like..." She trailed off. "Like what?" Another pause. "Like something's pretending to be him." Part 2. The support rep tried to walk me through resetting my account, but I wasn't listening anymore. I kept staring out the back window. Every shadow looked wrong. Every corner looked like someone could be standing there. When the call ended, I shut every blind, locked every window, and sat on the couch with the lights off, phone in hand, waiting for the next notification. It didn't take long. At 9:46 p.m., the screen lit up again. A push alert. From the delivery app. "Driver has arrived. Step outside to collect your order." I swallowed hard. I didn't move. A second alert. "We're waiting for you." "We. Not he." "Not I. We. I stood, moved to the door, and pressed my eye to the PEPHOLE. Empty. Just wet pavement glowing under the street lamp. But something made my stomach drop. The notification tone wasn't coming from my phone. It was coming from outside. A faint, tinny echo of the same sound, like someone was standing on my porch holding a phone that played the exact same chime as mine. I stepped back from the door. Then came the knock. Soft, careful, 3 taps. The exact same rhythm as last time. My breath caught in my chest. Another knock, this time slightly harder. Still gentle, but impatient. Like someone trying to coax a stray animal. I whispered, barely audible, "Who are you?" Silence. Then a voice through the door, low, almost polite. "I'm always on time." My heart lurched. That phrase. From the reviews. I didn't answer, didn't move. Only after a long moment did I hear it. Soft footsteps. But instead of fading, they moved sideways, across the wooden porch. To my left, toward the window. I backed away, hand over my mouth. The blinds trembled. Just a tiny shift, like fingertips brushing. Then from the outside. And then my phone buzzed. Again. Live driver video feed. Opened on its own. At first I saw nothing but static, gray, flickering, the sound of rain hitting the mic. Then a shape came into focus. A face, pressed too close to the lens. Wide, glassy eyes. Skin the color of milk. Lips parted, breathing heavy. The same face I saw last time, only this time he was smiling. A small twitch at the corner of his mouth, like he was trying to copy a smile he'd seen someone else make. I stumbled backward. The camera panned slowly, shakily, until it pointed at my house to my exact front door from the outside. He was streaming himself standing right there. I dropped the phone when the video stream abruptly cut. I grabbed my keys and wallet, slipped out the back door, and sprinted to my car. I didn't turn on the headlights until I was 3 blocks away. And even then I kept waiting for someone to step out from behind a parked car or wander into the road. Drove aimlessly for an hour before pulling into a Walmart parking lot. I sat in the car with my hands shaking on the steering wheel, trying to steady my breathing. There was only one explanation now, something tech-savvy. Some stalker hijacking accounts, stealing identities, maybe using spoofed GPS signals and fake live streams. I kept telling myself that, but the voice through my door didn't sound like someone messing around. It sounded hungry. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a cheap motel off the highway, the kind with buzzing overhead lights and a carpet that smelled like bleach. After pushing a chair in front of the door and testing the deadbolt 3 times, I collapsed onto the bed and turned on the TV for background noise. My phone was on airplane mode, but even then, around 1 a.m., it vibrate. I sat up. Impossible. A message from the delivery app slid across the screen. Still delivering. Estimated arrival, 2 minutes. My chest tightened. I didn't turn airplane mode off. I didn't reconnect to anything, yet the app pushed a notification through anyway. I stared at the door of the motel room. No peephole. No chain lock, just a single flimsy deadbolt. Another buzz. We appreciate your loyalty. I crawled backward onto the bed, whispering, "This isn't real. This isn't real." But then my phone screen changed. Live driver feed. No prompt. No button pressed. The camera was angled downward, bouncing with each step. Footsteps echoed, long hallway. Hollow and close. The carpet pattern was unmistakable. It was my motel hallway. My stomach fell through the mattress. Camera jerked up, showing door numbers passing by. My room was 113. Footsteps slowed. 110. 111. 112. The camera feed paused. Then turned to face my door. My door. I pressed both hands over my mouth to keep from making a sound. Silhouette appeared under the door. Feet standing perfectly still. Door handle twitched. Not a full turn, just enough to test it. The live stream zoomed slightly, the camera shaking with tiny breaths, and then a voice whispered through the mic, so close it crackled. "Let me get my last star." I snapped. I grabbed my things, shoved them into my backpack, and darted to the window. I yanked the curtains open and nearly screamed when I saw a tall figure standing in the parking lot, but it was just a man smoking behind a truck. I knew something was wrong the second the cop pulled me over. I wasn't speeding. My taillights were fine. I hadn't even finished my first Instacart batch of the night. Just 2 grocery deliveries. Nothing special. A quiet Tuesday. But he tailed me for 2 blocks, then flicked the lights. One chirp of the siren. I pulled over, confused as hell. He didn't ask for my license first. Didn't even ask where I was headed. He just leaned toward the window, flashlight in hand, and said, "Pop the trunk." I blinked. "Sorry?" His voice was dead serious. Pop the trunk. There was no point arguing. I hit the button. He walked to the back of my car and opened it slowly. I sat there, heart pounding, suddenly weirdly aware of everything in my car. The crumpled snack wrappers, the gum pack on the dash, the smell of grocery bags in the back seat. Then I heard him go, "Jesus Christ." I got out of the car fast. "What?" What's going on? He was already on his radio. I need backup at my location, immediately. I stepped around to look into the trunk, and my blood turned cold. There was a black duffel bag in there, oversized, zipped tight, nothing written on it, like a gym bag but bulkier. One of the handles was frayed. I had never seen it before. That bag was not mine. What the hell? I started to say. He turned on me like I'd pulled a weapon. Step back, hands visible. I swear, that's not. I said step back. I held my hands up. That's not my bag. I don't know how that got in there. He ignored me. Slowly, he crouched and unzipped the bag. The smell hit instantly. Rot, sweat, something wet and warm and metallic. He paused, then opened it fully. I didn't see what was inside at first. He blocked most of it. But I saw enough. A hand. Pale, limp, curled inward like it didn't belong to anything alive. Fingernails cracked. Blood crusted at the wrist. Bruises around the knuckles. He pulled back. Inside the bag was a girl. Small, maybe 15, 16. Face pale. Dried blood on her scalp. Wearing pajama pants and a hoodie. Her hair was matted to her face. She wasn't moving. I felt my knees go soft. Oh my God. Oh my, what the how did that get there? I couldn't stop shaking. She's not. She's alive, he said tightly. Barely. I nearly collapsed. She needs an ambulance, I said, panicked. We need to get her out of there. But the cop stepped between me and the trunk. And this look came over his face. Not panic, not urgency, not even anger. Just suspicion. Like he wasn't calling for help, like he thought I had done it. I was detained on the spot. Hands behind my back, shoved into the back of a second cruiser that arrived less than 10 minutes later. I kept trying to tell them. I didn't know her. I didn't know how the bag got into my trunk. I never even opened it. I was doing deliveries all night. But they weren't listening. They took my keys, my phone, everything. The girl was taken to the hospital, still unconscious, and I was left in an interrogation room under flickering lights, being stared at by a detective who clearly thought I was a monster. You're telling me, he said slowly, that someone broke into your car, put a living girl in your trunk, zipped her up, and you just didn't notice? I swear to God, I said. Check the camera footage. I picked up groceries at 6:42, dropped the first batch at 7:18. The second batch I was halfway through when the cop stopped me. No dash cam? Not anymore, I muttered. Someone smashed it last week. He raised an eyebrow. Convenient. It wasn't convenient. It cost me $200. He leaned in. Why would someone pick your car? Out of every parked car on the block, why yours? I didn't have an answer. I sat there, running the whole night over in my head again and again. The first stop, basic groceries, contactless drop. The second, weird, now that I thought about it. No lights on in the house. No answer at the door. No visible number. I even remembered thinking, this place looks abandoned. But the GPS pin was accurate. I left the bags, took the photo, drove off. Maybe that's when it happened. They let me go 2 days later. No charges. No apology either. They confirmed what I'd said. My route checked out. The girl's fingerprints didn't match anything in my car. No witnesses. No DNA. No link between us. But I knew I wasn't off the hook. Not really. The girl was still unconscious. No ID. No family had come forward. Nobody seemed to know who she was, like she'd just been dumped into my life. And the worst part? The bag. When they showed it to me again, laid out on the table at the station, I recognized it. Not because I'd seen it before, but because I'd delivered it before. I was filling in the blanks the night they let me out. Back home, surrounded by silence, I logged into my delivery history, dug through past jobs, cross-referenced times, addresses, customer requests. And I found it. 3 weeks earlier. An Instacart Express drop-off in a neighborhood, just 20 minutes from the one I got pulled over in. Same black duffel bag, Listed as special item, customer provided. Delivery instructions: don't open. Leave in trunk. Handle carefully. I remember laughing when I read that. Some people just get weird with their groceries. I'd picked it up from a house I'd never seen before. Creepy place. Black windows. No porch light. Customer never came out. I left it in the trunk like they asked. Took a photo. Confirmed the drop, but I never saw anyone. Never knew what was in the bag. I should have asked more questions, but honestly, it didn't seem that strange at the time. And now I realized that same bag had stayed in my car. Or one just like it. Maybe it was removed. Maybe it was swapped. Maybe it never left. Maybe I'd been delivering things without knowing what they were. Part 2. I couldn't sleep after finding that old order. The black duffel. The instructions. The fact that I had handled it without asking a single question. Like it was normal to move sealed bags with no labels for anonymous customers. It felt sickening now. Like I'd been part of something I didn't understand, and maybe still was. The next morning I did something I probably shouldn't have. I went back to the house from that first bag delivery. The one from 3 weeks ago. The one with the blacked out windows. It was still there. Same exact house. Still no lights. Still no number displayed. Dead lawn. Overgrown hedges. Blinds drawn on every window, but there were packages on the porch. 5 of them. All the same size. All in plain brown boxes, unmarked. No branding, no stickers. Just labels with tracking barcodes and vague codes like L12 hold and SIF fragile. And all of them were labeled as return to sender. I don't know what came over me. I stepped onto the porch, knelt, and touched one of the boxes. It was cold. Weirdly cold, like it had been in a freezer. And it was slightly damp. When I gently pressed on the side, the box made a soft, mushy sound. Like there was wet cloth inside. And then I heard it from inside the house. Thump. Like a single, heavy footstep. I froze, held my breath. Nothing followed. Then another noise, softer. Something sliding across the floor. A whisper, maybe. Too quick to be sure. I backed off the porch and hurried to my car. Didn't go back. But that house haunted me, and the girl in the bag wouldn't leave my head either. She woke up 2 days later. I saw it on the local news, buried deep in a late-night segment. They called her Jane Doe. Still no ID. Still no family. She was sedated at a hospital under police supervision. But the clip showed her face. And I recognized her. Not from the night of the traffic stop. From before. I'd seen her once months ago. In a completely different neighborhood. Standing in the window of another dark house, watching me drop groceries at her door. I remember it because she didn't blink. She didn't move. She just stood there behind the glass while I set the bags down and took the picture. She wasn't listed on the order. It was under a man's name. I remember because I thought, that's weird. Why's this teenage girl just watching from inside like that? Now I realized she wasn't watching. She was trying to be seen. I contacted the detective. Told him everything. He listened, but I could hear the hesitation in his voice, like he didn't want to believe it. But he let me come in, and when I told him about the special item delivery, his eyes changed. "This isn't the first one," he said quietly. "What?" He opened a drawer and slid out a thin file. Inside were screenshots. Delivery logs, app receipts, all tied to drop-offs marked customer provided item or special instructions. Do not open. Everyone had the same vague delivery trail, night orders, unusual packaging, no contact required, no verified customer identity. And everyone ended in either a missing person report or nothing. No follow-up, no complaint, no rating. Just gone. "I think they're using the apps," he said, tapping the folder, "to move people." My throat closed. "Who is?" He leaned back. "We don't know, but it's organized. Like they're watching which drivers follow instructions, which ones don't ask questions." I felt cold all over. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because people panic, he said. They post, it blows up. And these people vanish when that happens. They wipe everything clean. Accounts, drop-offs, even houses. You go back a week later, it's like they were never there. I started checking the app differently after that. Every time I got a new route, I'd scan the instructions. Anything that said leave in trunk, or customer will retrieve, or item is pro-bagged, I flagged. I started seeing them more than I ever noticed before. Always late-night. Always in dead neighborhoods. Always bags. Sometimes sealed boxes. Sometimes totes. But always heavy. The app never questioned it. In fact, I started getting more orders like that. As if the system knew I'd done one before. Like I'd passed a test. The second I read the drop-off instructions, I knew something wasn't right. Use side entrance. Go down to the basement. Leave bags at the bottom of the stairs. Do not ring the bell. It was 10:12 p.m., final delivery of my shift. I almost canceled, but it was a heavy tip, $22 before base pay. I told myself it was probably some weirdo with social anxiety. Maybe someone with a newborn. Maybe a night shift worker trying not to wake up the house. Who knows? But the side entrance? The basement? That part stuck with me. Still, I pulled up to the address, an older colonial tucked back on a quiet residential street. No streetlights. Just the glow from my headlights across the overgrown lawn and the white siding that looked more gray in the dark. No porch light. No visible movement. Just one trash can knocked over and a yellowed curtain pulled tightly shut in the top window. The side entrance was easy to find. A narrow walkway running between the house and the fence, leading to a basement door at the bottom of 3 concrete steps. The door was already cracked open. I stood at the top of the steps with the first 2 bags in hand, staring down. The light was on inside, dim, yellow, flickering. I called out, "Hello? I'm just dropping groceries." No response. I waited. Nothing. Then, stupid. I know. I took the first step down. The concrete was damp, slippery. I made it to the door and pushed it gently open with my foot. The smell hit instantly. Not rot. Not sewage. Just old. Like dust and heat and stale laundry. Like something had been sitting down there too long. I stepped inside just far enough to place the bags down on the mat at the foot of the stairs. That's when I saw the note taped to the wall across from the door. Thin printer paper, curled at the edges. Written in Sharpie, "Thank you. Don't look around." I froze. What? I stared at the words for a long second. Heart suddenly pounding. Then I heard it, a soft creak, above me. Upstairs. Like someone shifting their weight slowly across a wooden floor. I didn't move. I just stayed crouched, staring at that stupid note. Don't look around. Who writes that? Another step creaked overhead. Then another, coming closer to where the basement door would be on the first floor. The hair on my neck lifted. I stood, backed out slowly, bags left exactly where they wanted, and closed the basement door behind me as gently as I could. I climbed back up to the driveway. Didn't even take the rest of the bags. I canceled the remaining batch right there and drove off. Heart in my throat the entire way home. Told myself it was just a sketchy house. Weird person. Nothing else. Except when I checked the app the next morning. The order was marked completed. All 5 bags. Tip confirmed. I stared at the screen for a long time. I had only dropped off 2 bags. I'd left the others in my car, but the app marked them all. Delivered, with a timestamp just 5 minutes. After I drove away, someone had finished the job. Someone had gone into my car and taken the remaining bags. Or someone had followed me. The more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. The name on the order was Raymond R. But when I searched the address again on the app's built-in map, It showed as customer unavailable, flagged for unreliable handoffs, which should have made the order unbookable. So how the hell did I get it? I clicked back into the order history, looked for past deliveries, and there it was. Basement drop-off, completed 3 times this month. Same name, same tip amount. All after 9 p.m., I clicked into one of the drivers who'd completed it. Profile deactivated. Then the next one deactivated. And the third, no longer available. I sat in my car outside a gas station. Hand frozen on my phone. Something was wrong. I could feel it, that cold, crawling dread that something bigger was going on. And I had almost been part of it. I was about to close the app and delete the whole thing, when a message popped up. Not from support, not from any name, just a chat bubble inside the old order thread. You forgot the last bag. Part 2. I stared at that message. You forgot the last bag. The app shouldn't have let anyone message me. Not after the order was closed. Not from an unverified account. My thumb hovered over the screen. Another message appeared. Come back. Basement door is unlocked. I dropped the phone. My entire body went cold. Like something inside me understood the situation way before my brain caught up. They weren't asking. They were expecting me. I didn't go back that night. I locked every window, dragged a dresser in front of my bedroom door, and lay awake until dawn with the lights on. Every noise made me jump. Neighbors walking upstairs, the ice maker clicking, a car alarm 3 buildings over. All I could hear was that creak from above the basement, those slow, careful footsteps. And the note, don't look around. The next morning, I made myself go to work. Not deliveries. I picked up a shift at the warehouse instead. Something that involved people, fluorescent lights, and no one sneaking around in the dark. But around lunchtime, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Voicemail. We're missing the last bag. Please come back. The voice wasn't threatening, wasn't angry. It sounded pleading. Like a lonely old man asking someone not to forget about him. But the more I replayed it, the more I noticed the tone wasn't right. The pauses were off. The breaths too shallow. Like someone trying to imitate how a person sounds, but not quite getting it right. I deleted the voicemail and blocked the number. That should have been the end of it. Except when I got home that afternoon, my apartment door was cracked open. I froze in the hallway. I live alone. Always deadbolt my door. Always double check it. But now it was open just an inch. Barely enough to be noticeable unless you were really looking. I pushed it open with my foot. The apartment was silent. Nothing looked touched. Nothing was missing. Nothing was broken, except for one thing, on my kitchen floor. Placed neatly on the tile like someone wanted to make sure it wouldn't get dirty, was the last grocery bag, the one I didn't deliver. Still full. Still sealed. Still cold. And on top, taped to the handles, was a note. Same handwriting. Same cheap printer paper. You know where this goes. I didn't touch the bag. Backed away from it like it was radioactive and dialed 911 immediately. The dispatcher stayed on the line while cops cleared my apartment. They asked if I kept a spare key under the mat. No. If anyone else had access, no. If I'd left the door unlocked, absolutely not. They took the bag. They took photos. They asked 100 questions. And at the end, all they could give me was no sign of forced entry. No fingerprints. File a report if anything else happens. I wanted to scream at them. Something else had already happened. Someone entered my home. Someone left a bag that should have been in a stranger's basement. Someone knew where I lived. But none of that mattered, because they didn't see the real problem. The problem was that I recognized the bag now. Not the contents. Just the way it was folded. The tiny tear by the handle. The faded store logo. I'd picked it up days ago. And between then and now it had somehow traveled from my car to a basement then back to my apartment floor. Without me for 3 nights. Nothing happened. Then on the 4th, just after midnight, I got another message inside the app. An order. Just any order. Basement drop off only. Same address. Same customer name. But this time, the order wasn't groceries. It said, 1 item awaiting pickup. And right under that, item is inside your vehicle. My heart stopped. I went outside with shaking hands and opened my car door. The bag was on the back seat. And it wasn't the grocery bag anymore. It was a different bag, a heavy one, black, with a zipper, the same kind of bag from Story 4, the same kind of bag cops search for bodies in. I slammed the door and stumbled backward. My phone buzzed. Please complete the order. Do not open the bag. Customer is waiting. Basement. Door is unlocked. I felt tears in my eyes, not sadness. Just pure shaking panic. Like my body had no other response left. Because now I finally understood. Those other drivers who deactivated, who stopped taking orders. They didn't quit. They were claimed, tasked, used, sent back to the same address again and again until the delivery wasn't groceries anymore. It was someone. And now it was my turn. Last bag wasn't groceries. It was a person, or it would be, because I was the one meant to deliver it. I reported everything to the police again. They didn't investigate. Just told me to get off the app and stay vigilant. I deleted the account. Got a new phone, changed the locks, quit deliveries, but the orders didn't stop. The messages didn't stop, and the bag didn't stop appearing every night. 10:12 p.m. The exact time of that first delivery. The bag appears in my car, no matter where I park. No matter what I drive. Always zipped. Always heavier than before. Tonight was the worst. Tonight didn't come with a message. No instructions. Just a single push notification from a number with no name. Bring it back. And when I went outside to check my car, the bag wasn't on the seat. It was in my trunk, unzipped, open. Empty. Except for a note. Someone else delivered you. I knew something was off as soon as I saw the address. It wasn't on any map, not Google, not the delivery app's built-in GPS. The pin just floated in the middle of a street with no house numbers. Like the app had guessed where the address should be and decided, good enough. The customer's name didn't help either. It was just letters and numbers jammed together. No profile photo. No contact info. Just customer, JHL32#BB47. The order itself was normal. A single bag of fast food, fries, double burger, milkshake. No special instructions. But the drop-off location? It was listed as 324 East Bentwillow Lane. Problem was, Bentwillow Lane stopped at 322. I drove up and down the block twice, even got out and walked the sidewalk with my phone flashlight. No 324, no mailbox, no porch light, no anything. Just an empty lot where the pin blinked quietly in the middle of dead grass and scattered leaves. I probably should have canceled, but I was already on a bad streak. 2 canceled orders earlier that night. If I bailed on another one, I'd lose priority and get booted from the app for a week. So I tapped the I'm here button and waited. That's when the messages started. A chat bubble popped up inside the app. Customer, you're close. Just drive a little farther. I frowned. There wasn't farther to go. It was a dead end. I typed back, where exactly? I don't see a house. No answer. I waited. Checked the map again. Still just a glowing blue dot blinking in the middle of nowhere. Second message came through. Pull into the alley. We'll meet you. We. There was no alley. Unless. I turned my headlights toward the edge of the lot, and saw a narrow strip of gravel I hadn't noticed before, almost hidden between overgrown bushes and what looked like a busted fence. It didn't show up on the map, didn't even look like a real road. Just a path that dipped between the houses into something darker. My gut said turn around, but my bank account said complete the drop. So I turned. The gravel path jolted my car with every bump. My tires crunched over broken glass and wet leaves. Trees hung low on both sides, their branches scraping the top of my car like fingers. And then, weirdly, it opened up, a small clearing, concrete beneath my tires, old, cracked, probably used to be part of an old driveway, long since buried by weeds. And at the far end, a house, dark, sunken into the trees, roof slanted, windows boarded, porch sagging like it had been empty for decades. And yet, there was a light on inside. Faint, yellow, flickering behind one of the boarded windows. I didn't want to get out, but I'd already tapped arrived. I grabbed the bag, stepped out into the cold, and walked slowly toward the porch. The stairs creaked under my weight. Up close, the house looked worse. The boards weren't nailed in, they were rotting in place. The screen door was missing, and carved into the wood of the main door were 4 deep grooves, like someone had dragged their nails across it again and again. I knocked once. No answer. I knocked again. Delivery for, JHL32. The door creaked open, just a few inches. No one visible inside. The bag trembled in my hand. I whispered, I'm just gonna leave it here, okay? I set it down on the top step and backed away, not turning my back until I was at the bottom. I turned to walk back to my car. That's when the door slammed shut behind me. I practically ran to my car and locked the doors before I could even put it in reverse. My phone buzzed. Another message from the app. Thanks. Come back soon. I stared at the screen. The entire order history had changed. The receipt now said 2 items delivered. What? I'd only brought 1 bag. Under that, it said, food, guest. I felt the air go out of my lungs. Guest? I stared at the house. The porch was empty. The bag was gone. I drove home shaking, constantly checking my rearview mirror. Every shadow looked like it was following me. My phone didn't buzz again until I got into bed. 1:22 a.m. A system notification. Not from the app, from my phone itself. Thanks for visiting 324 East Bent Willow. Please leave a review. I blinked. I'd never given my phone location permission. That's the first thing I turn off on any app. I tapped the notification. It opened a black screen with a single line of white text. Tell others about your stay. Part 2. I didn't sleep, not even for a minute. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that broken house. That faint yellow light behind the boards. That receipt saying I'd delivered a guest. I kept replaying it in my mind. How the door swung open on its own. How the order name made no sense. How the bag vanished instantly. And that last notification. Tell others about your stay. Stay like I'd been a visitor. Not a driver. When the sun finally rose, I pulled myself together and drove straight to the support center for the delivery company. Not the phone line. Not the chat. The in-person hub. 30 minutes across town. I needed to talk to a human being who could look me in the eye and tell me what the hell happened. Tired-looking guy in a branded hoodie approached the counter. How can I help you? He asked. I slid my phone across the desk. I need you to look at this order. He clicked through, his eyebrows pinched. This doesn't make sense. No kidding. He checked the back end. Scrolled, stared. Then he swallowed hard. This customer ID you delivered to, it doesn't exist. What do you mean, doesn't exist? I mean the system shows the order was created, assigned, and completed. But there's no user attached to it. No payment source. No contact info. No profile, nothing. So how did it get generated? He shook his head. It shouldn't have. I leaned in. What about the address? 324 Bent Willow. He typed again. The screen blinked. Then he frowned. Deeper. That house burned down in 1997. My chest tightened. He turned the monitor slightly so I could see an official aerial photo. Where the house should have been was just dirt. Fire report beneath the photo said the home was a total loss, condemned, and demolished a year later. No residents. No rebuild. Nothing. Just an empty lot. Exactly where I had parked last night. My voice cracked. I was there. He looked at me like he didn't want to believe it. Then he clicked again, checking the GPS logs of my route. His face went pale. Your car's GPS shows you stopped at the empty lot. Yeah, I said. But the house. There is no house to show on the GPS, he whispered. No structure. No property line. Nothing. I stared at him, throat tight. You think I imagined it? He hesitated. I think. He lowered his voice. I think there's a problem with deliveries near that area. You're not the first driver to bring this up. That got my attention fast. Others saw it too. He nodded slowly. 3 drivers in the past 6 months. All late-night deliveries. All to non-existent customers. All to that same lot. What happened to them? He hesitated again. 2 deactivated their accounts and never responded to follow-ups. He swallowed. The 3rd one filed a complaint saying someone followed him home. My stomach knotted. What do you mean followed? His eyes flicked to the door. Like he was suddenly nervous we were being watched. He said someone stood outside his house all night. Just standing, watching. When he checked again in the morning, the guy was gone. And then he deleted his account, changed numbers, and moved. We haven't heard from him since. I backed away from the counter. I'm done, I said. Delete my profile. Delete everything. He didn't argue. He looked relieved. Give me an hour, he said. I'll wipe it manually. Some of the auto-generated orders bug out unless we... My phone buzzed. Both of us looked down. A new message from the delivery app, even though it was closed. Even though he had just started deleting the account. The message simply said, "Thank you for coming back." My blood ran cold. The employee stepped back like the phone was a snake. Then another message appeared. 2 items delivered. No bag this time. Just Cologne food. Guessed. The employee whispered, "Holy shit." I grabbed my phone and ran. Didn't wait for questions. Didn't look back. Just ran. When I got home, every muscle in my body felt wired, buzzing with panic. I shut all the blinds, locked the doors twice, and turned off every light except the hallway. My phone buzzed again. Not a text, not an app. A photo. Sent via airdrop. Despite my settings being set to contacts only, there was no name attached. Just unknown. The photo loaded instantly. It was a picture of my house, taken from the street. At night. The bushes near the driveway. My porch light flickering. My bedroom window lit. My hand shook so hard, I nearly dropped the phone. A second photo arrived. My front yard, closer now. The walkway. The mailbox. My porch. Then a third. My front door. Then another. My living room. Window. Closer each time, like someone walking closer. Step by step, I backed away from the window. Heart thundering, clutching the phone like it could save me. A 4th photo came in. This one was from inside my house. A shot of my hallway, taken behind me. Whipped around. No one was there. Hallway. Empty, nothing moved, but the 5th photo arrived anyway. This one was darker. Blurry, almost unrecognizable, until I realized it was taken a few inches behind my head. I stumbled backward into the wall, breath shaking out of me, every nerve ending screaming. Another message appeared. Guest collected. Thank you for the delivery. My entire body froze. Collected? Who? What? A banging noise came from the back of the house. I didn't check what it was. I ran out the front door barefoot, sprinting until my lungs burned, until my legs nearly buckled, until I found myself in the parking lot of a strip mall 2 miles away. I called 911. From there, a cop escorted me back home. He checked the whole place. Closets, basement, attic. Every corner got no signs of forced entry. No footprints inside. No fingerprints except mine. Nothing missing. Nothing broken. Nothing left behind. Except he found something near my front door. A receipt. It was the biggest tip I ever got. $100 for a $20 food order. No special instructions. No request to leave it at the door. Just a note that said, "Thank you for your time." The customer's name was Elena M. And the address was for a mid-rise apartment complex on the edge of town. Not bad, not luxury either. One of those boxy buildings with many units and not enough lights in the hallway. The order came in around 9:50 p.m. I almost didn't take it. Last one of the night, and I was already tired. But when I saw the tip, I didn't think twice. It felt generous, a little weird, but not wrong, not at first. I got to the complex around 10:15, no parking near the entrance, so I ended up dragging the bag 2 blocks on foot. The lobby was empty. No security, no front desk. Just a dusty welcome mat and a mailroom that looked half abandoned. The elevator was busted, of course. Handwritten sign. Out of order again. Take the stairs. Unit #3B.3 flights up. No big deal. Until I got to the 3rd floor and realized something was off. There was number 3B. I stood in the hallway, catching my breath, staring at the doors. 3C, 3D. No B. I walked back and forth twice, thinking maybe I missed it. Even checked across the hall in case the building was labeled weird. Still no. 3B. The closest thing I could find was a small utility door between 3A and 3C, narrow. Plain, UNNUMBED. Locked. I stood there, unsure what to do. The app showed me standing exactly on top of the location. The GPS pin was right on my feet. I tried knocking on 3A. No answer. Tried 3C. Same. Then, right as I was about to call support, I heard something. A soft, slow creak. Behind me. The utility door had cracked open an inch. No one was there. Just darkness and a faint smell of flowers. Lavender, maybe. The kind of scent old people used to keep in drawers. I leaned in a little. Hello? Nothing. I glanced back at the order. Yup. 3B. The app said, "Deliver to door. Do not wait for customer." I should have left it there. Just set the bag down and walked away, but something felt polite. Like whoever was behind that door had opened it just enough to say thank you, and was too shy to come all the way out. I stepped forward and placed the bag gently just inside the doorway. As soon as I did, the door shut quietly. No slam. No lock. Just a soft click. I stood there for a second, expecting something. A voice, footsteps, a shadow, anything. Nothing. Just that faint lavender smell and the hum of the hallway light. Then my phone buzzed. Tip received. $100. Message, "You're very kind. Be safe tonight." I stared at the message longer than I should have. Something about it made my skin prickle. It felt too aware, too specific. I left the building fast. Back in my car, I opened the delivery details again, but something had changed. The customer's name was now blank. No Elena M. Just a dash. The order ID had disappeared. Just said archived. The app shouldn't archive an order that fast. Not unless someone manually closes it. I tried refreshing. Nothing. Gone. I didn't sleep well that night. The next day. I couldn't stop thinking about the tip. It wasn't just generous. It felt wrong. Like it was too much for what I'd done. So after my shift, I drove back to the apartment building. I don't know what I expected. Maybe I just wanted to see if 3B actually existed in daylight. But when I got there, I felt that same quiet dread crawl back up my spine. Inside, everything was still. Even the air felt stale. I climbed the stairs. Third floor. Same layout. 3C, 3D. Still number 3B. But the utility door? It was gone, like it had never existed. Just smooth wall between 3A and 3C. No handle. No seams. I stood there, heart pounding, trying to make sense of it. Then I heard a voice behind me, older woman, raspy. "You lost?" I turned fast. A woman in her 60s stood near the stairs, holding a laundry basket. She had that cautious look people get when they live in buildings with too many strangers. "Sorry," I said. "I dropped off food here last night. For Unit 3B. Her face changed. Not shock. Not confusion. Fear. "There's number 3B, she said. "Never has been." "I left it at a door right there," I pointed. "There's no door there," she said again. Her voice shook slightly. I hesitated. "Do you know someone named Elena M.?" That's when she stopped looking annoyed and went completely pale. "I don't talk about her," she whispered, already turning away. "You shouldn't either." Part 2. The woman with the laundry basket practically fled down the stairs. Didn't look back. Didn't say goodbye. Just disappeared around the corner like she'd remembered something she didn't want to remember. I stood alone in that stale hallway, staring at the smooth stretch of wall where the utility door had been last night. No seams. No outline. No hinge marks. Nothing. It was like someone had plastered over it years ago. But I knew what I saw. I knew I had delivered to a door there. I knew someone opened it, and the lavender smell. It still lingered, faint, almost unnoticeable. But there, I put my palm to the wall. It felt oddly warm, like someone was behind it. Watching. Listening. Waiting. I backed up fast and got the hell out of there. That night, I kept replaying everything. The missing door. The disappearing customer. The $100 tip. Her message, "You're very kind. Be safe tonight." It didn't feel like gratitude anymore. It felt like a warning. Around 11 p.m., unable to sleep, I searched the address online. The building had been there since the 70s. Tenant records were spotty. Lots of turnover. Hardly any photos. But then I found a local forum thread from 5 years ago. Weird stuff happening around 3rd floor of Bent Ridge Apartments. I clicked it. Most comments were jokes or complaints. But one stuck out. A user named OldWindows62 wrote, "There used to be a Unit 3B. They sealed it up after the fire. The woman inside, she didn't make it out. They say she still opens the door if you knock after dark. Don't go up there." My chest tightened. A fire? I scrolled through the replies. Someone posted a clipping from an old newspaper. Bent Ridge apartment fire, 1 fatality. Victim, Elena Marquez, age 58. Elena M. The customer. Her photo was small and grainy, but it was her. Soft eyes, gray-streaked hair. A worn smile. She looked like someone who would tip well, like someone who didn't want trouble. My stomach twisted. She died in a fire. In that building. In the 3B unit that no longer existed. And I delivered her food last night. I didn't want to believe it. People make mistakes. Records get mixed. Maybe someone else lived there now. Maybe the building was hiding an unauthorized tenant. I needed proof. Something physical. Something real. So the next night I went back. Yeah, I know. Stupid. But curiosity can feel like gravity when something doesn't add up. I parked farther. away and walked in quietly. The lobby was even darker this time, like someone had dimmed the lights on purpose. I took the stairs. Each step creaked like it was complaining. By the time I got to the third floor, I could already smell it. Lavender. Soft, old, powdery lavender. Not the kind young people use. The kind you find in dresser drawers or closets in your grandma's house. It was coming from the wall where the door used to be. I don't know why I did it. Maybe I wanted to feel sane again. To prove to myself it was all in my head, but I lifted my knuckles and knocked. 3 taps. Quiet. Polite. The hallway went dead silent. No humming lights. No distant TV noise. No footsteps from the units. Just silence. Then dash cree e-e-e-e-e-k. A soft, slow sound of a door opening. Only there was no door. Nothing moved. No space shifted. The wall looked exactly the same, but the sound kept going. Like a hinge turning. Right behind the drywall, I stepped back. Then the wall exhaled. A breath of lavender-scented air pushed out from the cracks along the baseboards, like something behind it was breathing out alongside. My whole body froze. Then I heard her. A whisper. Soft as dust settling. "Thank you for being kind." Goosebumps crawled up my arms. I turned to run, but my phone buzzed. A notification. Tip received. $100. Message from customer. "One more delivery, please." My breath hitched. Then another message. "Come back inside." I bolted down the stairs. Through the lobby. Out onto the cold street. Didn't stop running until I reached my car. Locked myself inside and started shaking. Then my phone buzzed again. And again. And again. Messages from customer popping one after another. "Please don't leave me. Just one more. I tipped already. Come back to 3B. I'm still here. Don't ignore me. Please." The last one chilled me to my marrow. "You're the first person to open the door in a long time." I turned off my phone completely. Drove to my friend Jake's place. Crashed on the couch without explaining anything. I didn't sleep much. Every time I drifted off, I felt like someone was standing behind me, not touching. Just standing, waiting for me to acknowledge them, like they were lonely. Too lonely. By the next morning, I convinced myself it was a glitch. Some old tenant piggybacking off an unregistered unit. Stupid prank. Bad wiring making me hear things. But when I turned my phone back on, there was a new photo waiting. A picture of me sleeping on Jake's couch, taken from above my head. Then another message. "I found you." I dropped the phone like it burned me. Jake wasn't home. His windows were locked. The blinds had stayed shut all night. Someone had been inside, watching me while I slept. Someone who tipped me. Someone who whispered through walls. Someone who didn't have a door anymore. I checked out of Jake's place immediately and drove straight to a motel on the other side of town. Paid cash. Fake name. Locked the door. Shoved a dresser in front of it. I tried to sleep. Didn. Single quotes T. Tried to eat. Couldn. Single quotes T. Every noise made me jump. Every shadow looked like a person standing just slightly out of sight. Around midnight, I opened my phone to double check the lock screen, and there it was. One final message. I've never seen the same customer place 2 identical orders an hour apart, let alone for the same food, same name, same apartment. But last Friday night, it happened, and I'm pretty sure one of them was lying about who they were. The first order came at around 9:20 p.m., standard burrito and chips, extra hot sauce. No drink. Customer name, James W. Apartment, Unit 402 at Linden Square Apartments. Tip, solid. $5. The drop-off instructions just said, "Hand it to me directly. I'll be waiting." When I got there, I buzzed the unit, and the guy answered on the first ring. He came down himself. Early 30s, hoodie, jeans, kind face. Looked tired but polite. "Thanks, man," he said. "Appreciate you." I handed him the bag. He gave a thumbs up and went back up the stairs. No weirdness. No red flags until 10:28 p.m. Another order comes in. Same burrito. Same extra hot sauce. Same customer name. Same apartment. Same tip. Only this time, the note is different. "Please don't knock. Just leave it at the door." Okay. Weird. I thought maybe it was a glitch. Maybe the guy's food spilled and he reordered. Or maybe he was high and forgot he already ate. So I accepted the delivery and headed back. I didn't expect him to be waiting for me again. This time, he opened the door the second I stepped onto the hallway. Same guy, same face, same hoodie, but something was off. He smiled a little too wide, like he was trying to act normal, but didn't quite know how. "Hey," he said. "Thanks for coming back." That's when it hit me. His voice was wrong. Same tone, same cadence, but slower, like he was forcing it through a bad connection, and he didn't look at the food. He just stared at me. "You doing okay tonight?" I asked, stalling a little, trying to read him. He blinked, like he hadn't expected the question. Then nodded too many times. "Yeah, good. Same route?" "Yep." He smiled again. "I was hoping you'd be the one to bring it." That made my stomach turn. I handed him the bag without saying anything else. He took it, turned, and closed the door gently. Didn't lock it. Didn't say thanks. Didn't look back. Back in my car, I reopened the app. There they were. 2 orders. Both marked delivered. Same name. Same unit. Same delivery time window. But under the second order, something new. A private message. Not from the app. Not from support. Not from any listed contact. Just a text sitting under the receipt like it had always been there. "Please help me. He's pretending to be me." Part 2. I sat in my car staring at that message. "Please help me. He's pretending to be me." It was under the second order. The one where the guy didn't want me to knock. The one where he smiled too wide and stared too long. I tried to report it through the app. No option. The message wasn't even selectable. It wasn't meant to be seen. Still, I screenshotted it. Something about it felt real. Desperate, like the person who typed it knew they might only have one shot. I drove back to the building. No more deliveries in the queue. I had no reason to return. Except I couldn't stop thinking about the guy who came down for the first order. He felt normal, the second one. He looked like James, sounded almost like James, but he moved like his skin didn't fit right, like someone wearing a mask too tight. I parked half a block away and walked in quiet. No front desk. Just an old keypad lock at the main entrance. I still had the code from the app. Inside, the hallway was too quiet. The kind of quiet you notice because it's wrong. I stood outside, Unit 402, for maybe 30 seconds before I knocked. Once. Nothing. Again. Firmer. Still nothing. Then I tried the handle. Unlocked. I pushed the door open slowly, heart in my throat. "James?" I called. Nothing. The apartment was dim. The kind of dim that didn't come from a broken bulb. More like the lights had been intentionally unscrewed halfway. The smell hit me next. Not rot. Something older. Damp. Like a flooded basement that never dried out. The burrito bag from the first delivery was on the table, half eaten. The second bag, the one I handed to the wrong James, was nowhere. I turned the corner into the living room and stopped cold. There was a person on the couch, slouched, breathing shallow. It was James, the real one, tied at the wrists and ankles. Duct tape across his mouth. Eyes wide open, filled with panic. I rushed over, yanked the tape off, started untying him. "Who did this?" I whispered. He shook his head fast. "He's still here." A floorboard creaked behind me. I turned just as something stepped out of the hallway. It looked like James. Exactly like him. Down to the hoodie. The haircut, even the scar under his left eye. But now, up close, in better light, it wasn't right. His skin was too smooth, his smile too fixed, his eyes empty, like someone had memorized the shape of James, but forgot how to make it feel human. The fake James tilted his head. "Why'd you come back?" I stood, heart racing. "What are you?" He blinked, like the question didn't compute. I tipped well. He took a step forward. Then another. "You weren't supposed to come back." The real James, now free, grabbed my arm. "Run," he whispered. We bolted down the hall, out the stairwell, not even waiting for the elevator. Behind us, I could hear bare feet slapping against the linoleum, soft, even, too calm. We hit the parking lot and didn't stop until we were halfway down the block. When I finally looked back, there was nothing there. No one chasing us. No fake James in the window. Just quiet. We sat in my car while James caught his breath. He told me he'd started noticing weird things in the app a few days ago. Duplicate orders, bags appearing on his doorstep before he even placed them, notifications from deliveries he didn't request. Then one night, he came home and saw himself walk past the window inside his own apartment. That version of him locked the doors, turned off the lights, and waited. He went to the police. They found no signs of forced entry, no DNA, no footage of anyone but him entering the building. They thought he was having a breakdown, and when he tried to stay with friends, the thing posing as him sent messages from his number, saying he was fine, saying he was just stressed, saying he was grateful for the space. Eventually, no one answered his calls anymore. He started sleeping in his car. Until he got the idea to use the delivery app to send messages, he said. Buried in the orders, I figured no one would see them, except the driver. He looked at me, voice shaking. I didn't think anyone would believe it. I nodded slowly. "I think I delivered to something that wasn't you." He just said, "I think it's done that before." We contacted the app company the next day. I told them what happened, showed the message, explained the 2 orders. They said there was no record of a second delivery to that address, only one, the first one. They didn't believe me, but they did freeze James' account, which made sense. After all, you can't have 2 people using the same identity, especially when one of them isn't real. I don't deliver anymore. Neither does James. He moved out of that building. I moved out of that city. But every now and then, I check the delivery app out of habit. And last week, I saw something that made my stomach drop. A new order. Same burrito. Extra hot sauce. Same delivery note. Hand it to me directly. I'll be waiting. Only this time, the customer's name wasn't James. It was mine. I've worked overnight delivery for almost a year now. Late night food and convenience store runs mostly. It's decent money, quiet roads, no small talk. But one night last month, the app glitched. At least, that's what I thought at first. It was around 12:30, a mid-shift, normal night. Then I got an order from a convenience store. I didn't recognize customer, ML drop-off, 15 minutes away. Items, 3 chips, energy drink. A batteries tip, $0. Okay, kind of a rude order, but whatever. I was bored. I accepted. The store wasn't on the map, just coordinates. But the app routed me anyway. Said I was headed to Fulfillment Zone 4. Never seen that before. The route looked weird, winding roads, barely lit neighborhoods, long gaps between turns. But the app said 15 minutes. So I followed it. 10 minutes in, I realized I hadn't passed a single car. No traffic. No people. Not even parked vehicles on the street. Just quiet. Empty neighborhoods that looked almost lived in, but slightly wrong. Houses too dark. No porch lights. No TVs flickering behind curtains. Like every home was staged. That was the first time I felt it, that I wasn't delivering to a person. I was being sent somewhere. The store was a small, old-looking gas station at the edge of a cul-de-sac that dead-ended into woods. No sign, no cars, no open lights inside. Just the glow of a single fridge unit near the back wall. But the app said, "Order ready. Please pick up inside." I hesitated. This wasn't even on Google Maps. The name just said, "Store. Node 0174. Tapped arrived and walked up to the door. It opened with a long mechanical click, like it had been locked for decades and just gave up the moment I stepped inside. The app updated. Order picked up. Proceed to drop off. I hadn't even grabbed anything. There was nothing on the counter. No clerk. No bags. Just that same fridge light in the back. I turned around to leave, but the door was gone. Same wall. No handle. No frame. Just rows of dusty snacks and a closed-off window where a cash register used to be. My phone buzzed. Drop off. Ada. 13-minute. Route recalculated. I didn't know what else to do, so I followed it. Back in the car, the road twisted deeper into nowhere. The neighborhoods faded. Then the streetlights stopped. Then the road itself. Just gravel now, bordered by trees. I was about to U-turn when the next order came in, automatically. No prompt. Customer. ML drop-off. Confirmed zone. Instructions. Leave engine running. Do not exit vehicle. No item list. No house number. Just coordinates again. I checked the map. It zoomed in on a clearing in the woods. My headlights hit the edge of the path and stopped. The road had turned into dirt. The last thing resembling a street was long behind me, but the pin blinked steadily, like it was waiting. I took a breath, inched forward. I drove into the clearing at exactly 1:08. It looked like no one had ever been there. No buildings. No lights. No structures. Just an old signpost lying broken in the grass. And something that looked like a radio tower. Long collapsed. My app dinged. You've arrived. Turn off your lights. I hesitated. The car was dead silent. My phone buzzed again. Turn off your lights. Against every instinct I had, I did it. Everything went black. Then a final message. Do not move. Let us approach. I gripped the steering wheel so hard my hands went numb. Seconds passed, then minutes. Was about to start the engine again when I saw it. Movement. Slow. Figures. From the tree line. At first, I thought it was a deer. Then maybe a person, but they weren't walking. They were gliding, upright, but too smooth. Like puppets on invisible strings. There were 3 of them. No visible faces, each holding something in their hands. One of them raised a phone, my phone, and took a photo. The flash exploded in the darkness, and just as quickly, they were gone. I floored it. Didn't care what I ran over. Didn't care where I was going. Just drove. And drove. And drove. Until roads started reappearing. Until I hit a highway with real cars. Until I saw a gas station I recognized and pulled over. Shaking. I checked the app. There were no orders in my history. No tips. No rating. The app didn't even say I was on a shift. Just a single line of text under my profile name. Thank you for completing the trial. Part 2. I deleted the app that night. Not just uninstalled it, I nuked it. Cleared the cache, erased permissions, ran antivirus. Even reset my phone to factory settings. Thought that would be enough. It wasn't. The next morning, I turned on the phone to check the weather. The screen lit up. No icons. Just a black screen with a blinking white box in the middle. Text appeared, slow and deliberate. Welcome back. Shift begins in 12 minutes. I shut the phone off. It turned itself back on. I pulled the SIM card out, cut it in half, and left the phone face down on the counter. Then I went outside to breathe, to shake the nightmare out of my head. It didn't work, because there was a bag on my porch, a familiar one, white plastic, greasy bottom, Stapled receipt. From the same fake gas station that didn't exist. The receipt was blank except for one line. We'll be tracking your satisfaction. I left the bag untouched and got in my car. Didn't drive anywhere in particular, just away at a red light. I looked at the dashboard screen. My car's Bluetooth was trying to auto-dash connect to a phone I didn't own, connecting to node_M4_ biometric. Last paired, 3:08 a.m. I threw my phone out the window. That should have been the end of it, but when I got home, my laptop was open, the camera light was on, and there was an email. Draft already written on the screen, addressed to no one. Subject line: Delivery, ETA, 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Body: you arrived on time. The vehicle remained running. The asset was compliant. Trial complete. At the bottom was a signature I'd never seen before. ML Fulfillment Node Supervisor. I stopped using all delivery apps. Switched to cash. New phone. No GPS. But I was already marked. I think they tagged me during that night. Because now, strange things keep happening. Drop-off bags appear in my backseat when I'm parked. Waking up to new photos in my camera roll, taken from outside my apartment window. Emails from addresses that don't exist. You are not currently on shift, but proximity tracking remains active. One night, I walked past my kitchen window at 2 a.m. and saw my own car parked across the street, even though it was locked in the garage. And the man sitting inside looked exactly like me. The worst part? Other drivers are starting to say the same things. I found message boards, threads buried deep, full of late-night workers talking about fake orders. Unknown zones, routes that take them off the map. Some disappear after posting once. Others go silent mid-conversation, and once, I saw a post from a username that matched my own. An exact match. The post read, "The system doesn't glitch. It just reroutes. If you're seeing this, you already delivered something you weren't supposed to. You are the drop-off now." Last night, I woke up to a knock. Not at the door, at my window. Ground floor. No porch. Just 3 soft, polite knocks on the glass. I stayed perfectly still. Eventually, I crept to the edge and peeked. There was a white bag on the WINDOWSILL. Inside was a used phone. My old one. The one I factory reset and tossed. It buzzed. I picked it up. Only one thing on the screen. New order, final route, ETA, now. I don't know where this ends. I don't think it does. I haven't left my house in days. But earlier today, I got a push notification on my smart TV. Preparing delivery environment. Then my lights flickered. Then the thermostat dropped to 41 degrees Fahrenheit. By itself. Then, the screen changed. Just one line of white text. Please remain still while we collect.